So, guys, I thought we would finally get an answer as to where the hell the parents are in this series. I was wrong. Hi guys, my name is Maria Park and this is Approach the Nerd. And in this episode, we are reviewing Yashahime, Princess Half Demon, episode 2, entitled The Three Princesses. So, yeah, a lot of exposition happened for our present day characters, but we still have no clue where in the hell Kagome, Inuyasha, Sango, Miroku, Sesshomaru, and potentially Rin, since I'm pretty sure that she's the twins' mothers, are right now. And now we have even more of a mystery. So let's start at the beginning. Basically, we see that little 4-year-old Towa and her twin sister, who is younger probably by a few minutes, Setsuna, were off playing in the forest or the woods without parental supervision and fell asleep, and then they're basically surrounded by a forest fire. Long story short, the twins are separated, and right as Towa was trying to find her younger twin, her eye starts to glow and she's sucked into the future through a portal where she's met by Kagome's brother, Sota, who at this point is an adult. They look for Setsuna for a little while, and then he basically adopts her. And at this point, she's in their world for 10 years. She has a young, cute, adorable sister named May. She basically is living as Kagome had when she was about 14. I believe Kagome was 14 when she first crossed over into, the past. So, yeah. What's interesting about Towa's experience is that Towa has to fight every single day. And when I say fight, I don't mean just like cat fights with other girls. I mean, she's fighting like gang leaders and gangs like every single day. And according to her, she has had to do that since she stood up to a bully in elementary school. She's transferred schools numerous times. She's going to an all-girls school now. I didn't check out the name of the school. It would be interesting to see if that was actually Kagome's old school. That would be interesting. She has a very eccentric principal that's kind of like, hey, I'll overlook you fighting today because this is your new home. So he's one of those over bubbly, principals, and she's not used to that. She dresses in boys' clothing because it's easier to fight. And plus, I think she really likes to wear boy clothing. She had a katana, and I say had because it gets destroyed in this episode, called Kika Jumanji, which is apparently a national treasure of like a shogun named Ashikaga Arteru. And I really want to know how she got it. Like, did you steal it? I mean, how did you get this national treasure? So, that's never really explained in this episode. But long story short, she made a promise never to use her abilities to Sota. And unfortunately, she has to when this gang kind of takes May and, surprisingly, Kagome's mother and grandfather hostage, tried to get to her. So, yes, Kagome's mother and grandfather are still alive and kicking. So, yeah, I was really surprised about the grandfather because he was pretty old during Kagome's era. So, yeah, that's cool. Now, on the flip side, we have basically a demon who's going around looking for what we call rainbow pearls, which is basically the thing that sends Towa through time. We learn later on in this episode that it's called, I think, the Rainbow Corridor, and it leads through the tree at the Higurashi Shrine. So I'm assuming it just leads there because that's where she ended up. And then later in the episode, that's also where Setsuna and Moroha end up too, with a demon. Now, interestingly enough, I think that these rainbow pearls are now the new Shikan shards. And Setsuna had a gold one, Moroha had a red one, and Towa has a silver one. I don't know how these children got these. This is all a mystery. And another mystery is that poor Moroha, who goes by Beniyasha, no one seems to know who the hell she is, which is very weird because if you look at the first episode, Kagome and Inuyasha lived in the same village as Sango and Miroku, and Rin also stayed with them. So Setsuna grows up to become a demon slayer, and she basically is working for Kohaku, who's now the leader of the demon slayers. There is one of Sango and Miroku's children, Hisue, who's also a demon slayer, and him and Setsuna seem to be close, meaning they probably grew up together, probably because Rin was in the village. So what's interesting to me is when they come across Moroha, they don't know who she is. They literally are shocked when she not only is able to use a sword, she uses these heavenly arrow barrage. Like she shoots an arrow like Kagome does, and it's like a sacred arrow attack which seals demons. And Kohaku's like, what the heck? He acts like he's never seen this child before in his life. So then my question to that is, what in the hell happened? What happened in that span of 10 years? Because when Setsuna and Towa were playing in the woods, they were 4 years old. When Towa ends up, in high school now, or middle school, I guess, she's 14 years old at this point. So that's a 10-year gap. But in that 10 years, what happened to the parents? This is driving me nuts. I need like some kind of closure here. We are in episode 2 and we are no closer. So anyway, Setsuna has a very cool weapon. It's called a Kenemitsu no Toma, and Moroha wants it. It's Naginata, and she does like a cyclone burst attack. Something about Setsuna that I think is awesome is that, yeah, she has kind of the mannerisms of Sesshomaru, but that girl straight up reminds me of Sango. I feel like Sango trained her to be a demon slayer. She has her hair the same way. I mean, she fights, and the way Sango would get into battle mode is like, no nonsense, I'm about to kick your ass. And that is exactly how Setsuna is. If I would know any better, I would say Setsuna was Sango's daughter, but I know she's not. But so yeah, definitely a lot of Sango influence right there. But yeah, so she does her cyclone burst attack. Her and Moroha kind of butt heads. And speaking of Moroha, she has a sword called the Kurikara Maru. And for the most part, she's able to do attacks as well. She's not as strong as Inuyasha, but then again, if I remember old school Inuyasha, it took him a while to really get into, himself and his attacks and be the badass that he was too. So I'm not going to rule little Moroha Inuyasha out. But I'm really curious, because if they don't know who Moroha is, then maybe Moroha doesn't know who her parents are either. Something has gone down. These rainbow pearls, the demons wanting them, the kids not really knowing each other, even when they're fighting the demon who wants the rainbow pearls and they're kind of sent over to the present time. Setsuna doesn't really recognize Towa. And when I watched the preview for episode 3, she has no idea who Towa is. So was it some demon that came along and like wiped their memories? And so nobody remembers anyone? This is just very weird. It's very strange. I mean, I'm into it. I'm really into it. I'm just confused, But we also saw that Lady Kaede is still the village leader or spiritual leader, whatever you want to call her. She is still kicking too, which means, I don't know, I feel like these people are trapped in a time loop and like nobody's dying, even if they're really, really old. Not that I want them to die. It's just strange that the kids keep getting older, but the older people are just staying still. So yeah, it is very interesting. I really hope we get some closure here. I really want to know what's going on with the parents. I think there's a huge mystery that we're missing, and we're only 2 episodes in, but it's just very weird. I also, and this is my queerness, I am queer. I am an LGBT marriage. I really want Towa to be queer. I want her to eventually get a girlfriend. Now, I know people are like, oh, why are you doing this? This show is action-packed, blah. Well, let's be real. Inuyasha has always been surrounded by romance. It's usually between a love triangle between Inuyasha, Kikyo, and Kagome. So it's not a stretch for Rumiko, because that's basically the type of shows and manga that she writes. So if they do have a thing, I really would not mind seeing her actually have a girlfriend instead of a boyfriend, because she's got all the androgynous potential of being the only queer character in the show. And we can only have one in representation land. So I'm really interested to see how that plays out. That's just my own little wish list here. And I really want to know why the twins don't remember each other. Well, why Setsuna doesn't remember Towa. Towa remembers Setsuna. But yeah, Setsuna does not know who Towa is, and they're the same age, so memory should not go, if one twin has a memory of the other, then the other one should probably have a memory of her twin too. So something happened. I'm speculating here. Somebody wiped someone's memory, or some memories got altered. Something happened in the 10 years that Towa was away. And I think that is our main mystery, not just why whoever the voice is that sent them through the rainbow corridor into the future, saying, oh, now I can cross over. That's a mystery all to itself. Who is that? What voice is that? But also, is this the voice responsible for all the crap that happened in the 10 years Towa was gone? And that owl we saw in episode 1 is probably connected to it somehow too. So yeah, very, very good episode, guys. I'm digging it. I just got lots of damn questions. Lots of questions. I mean, I need them answered, and now I got to wait till next Saturday. And I'm hoping that next Saturday we do not see Kagome's mother ask Moroha, you're my granddaughter. Where's your mother? How is she? And then Moroha's like, who the heck are you talking about? That's going to drive me nuts. But that is my opinion, guys. I would love to know what you think, so please leave me a comment below and let me know. And if you would like to sign up for jury duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next in the nerd bell, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys.
Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, but hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.